A mountain always warns you. You smell the brakes, you feel the grade, you hear the engine straining, but a bridge does none of that. A bridge is the one place on your route where the road makes every decision for you. No shoulder to pull onto, no ditch to escape into, no exit for the next 4 miles. Once you're on it, you're committed. And a bridge never negotiates. It doesn't slow you down, it doesn't flash a warning light. It simply applies physics at whatever speed you happen to be going. Tonight, we're ranking the 10 bridges in America that drivers never forget for the rest of their careers after crossing just once. Worst to worst. Every one of them is backed by real data, state records, federal crash reports, NTSB findings. At the top of the list is a crossing where the wind threw a fully loaded semi straight into the ocean, and the driver was still standing on the roof of his floating truck when the Navy helicopter arrived. That's number 1. At number 2 is a bridge so feared that for over 20 years, people have been paying strangers cash to take the wheel for them. 10 Gregson Street Overpass, Durham, North Carolina, the can opener, built in 1940 with an 11 feet 8 inches clearance. The national standard rose to 14 feet in 1973, but nobody ever forced the old bridge to be rebuilt. Since 2008, a local named Jürgen Hahn has logged every strike on camera. By mid-2025, the count passed 187. They raised it 8 inches in 2019. Within a month, a new truck tested it again. There are signs at 3 intersections and a flashing "overheight must turn" board. Drivers sit staring at the red light for a full minute, then floor it on green and lose the roof. The cost is usually just sheet metal and pride. The cheapest way to learn your truck has a number, and that number is your responsibility, not the signs. 9. Storrow Drive. Boston locals call it getting storrowed. Vehicle height has never been accounted for since 1951. Some spots dip to 9 feet of clearance. A 26-foot truck stands 13 feet 6 inches. The math never worked. 2024 logged 14 strikes, on pace for the worst decade yet. The state now hangs bridge height signs with soft padding on the bottom, a final warning tap. The culprits are usually not college kids, but professional drivers. Google Maps and Waze have never modeled vehicle height. 8. Eagle Avenue Overpass, Long Island, 7 feet 7 inches, one of the lowest structures on Long Island, averaging 3 strikes a year. Robert Moses built these bridges deliberately low to keep buses off his roads. Locals call it Blood Alley. 43 fatal crashes in 5 years. In 2018, a school bus returning from Europe lost its roof. Miraculously, no one died. 7. Roebling Suspension Bridge, Cincinnati, Covington, opened in 1867, carrying an 11-ton, 22,000-pound limit since 2007. When the Brent Spence Bridge closed in November 2020, GPS units rerouted semis here. 12 trucks crossed this 158-year-old bridge in a single hour. Covington police shut it down that night. 6. Delaware Memorial Bridge. For 70 years, they've run an acrophobia escort. An officer takes the wheel for drivers who can't cross themselves. In 2017, 323 escorts were performed, 60% repeat riders. Japherophobia, fear of bridges, hits hardest under sleep deprivation and stress. 5. Ambassador Bridge, Detroit, Windsor, dating to 1929, roughly 10,000 trucks a day, squeezed through 4 lanes with no shoulder and no median. One breakdown locks up all traffic. Being late here means being late not just for the dock, but for the country. 4. Astoria Megler Bridge, mouth of the Columbia River, 4 miles, 2 narrow lanes, almost no shoulder, exposed to wind straight off the Pacific. Fog rolls in constantly, nowhere to escape to. 3. Hawaii. Hood Canal Bridge, Washington, an actual floating bridge. It opens in the middle for submarine traffic and closes in high wind. In 1979, half of the original bridge broke apart in a storm and sank. 2. Mackinac Bridge, Michigan, 5 miles, with wind procedures as detailed as a hazmat manual. Staff take the wheel in high winds. Since 1957, out of 200 million crossings, only 2 vehicles have gone over the rail, neither from wind. 1. Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, Louisiana, 24 miles, the longest continuous overwater bridge in the world. The lake generates its own fog, and visibility can drop to zero, no way off for 12 miles. So, that's the list. 10 bridges, 10 states, 10 completely different ways for a routine crossing to become the worst day of a driver's career. Go back and think about what you just watched. A 1940s railroad trestle in Durham that's been peeling roofs off trucks for 18 straight years. A parkway in Boston that's had the exact same math problem since Eisenhower was in office. A floating bridge in Washington that can simply open up and remove the road you're standing on. A 5-mile suspension bridge in Michigan with wind rules written like a hazmat manual. And a 24-mile causeway in Louisiana where the fog can swallow 12 miles of visibility before you even realize it's coming. 10 bridges, 10 completely different failure modes, but notice the thing they all have in common. Almost none of them killed anyone on the first trip across. That's the part people miss. It's never just the bridge. It's the bridge plus something else. Low clearance plus a GPS that's never once modeled vehicle height. Wind plus an empty trailer with nothing weighing it down. Fatigue plus an off-ramp that doesn't forgive a late reaction. A hairline fracture plus an inspection that happened to miss it by a few weeks. The drivers who get hurt on these crossings are almost never missing skill. What they're missing is one piece of information that nobody handed them in time. A number they didn't know, a warning they didn't see, a condition they didn't check for. And here's the number I want you to actually carry with you after this video ends. Not just hear and forget. The 2025 Federal Bridge Inventory found that 35% of American bridges, that's nearly 220,300 structures, need major repair or full replacement. Around 41,600 of them are rated in poor condition right now, today, while you're watching this. The estimated bill to fix all of it sits north of $467 billion. That's not some abstract future problem. Every single bridge in this video and every bridge you're going to cross on your next run is already sitting under you. It was under you this morning. It'll be under you tomorrow. Nothing on this list is hypothetical. It's just Tuesday for somebody, somewhere in this country, every single week. So here's what actually matters once the video's over and you're back behind the wheel. Know your height to the inch, not from memory, not from what the placard said when the truck was new, but the actual number today with today's load. Run commercial routing software instead of trusting a phone app that has never once in its history asked how tall your vehicle is. Read the windboard before the toll plaza, not after you're already committed on the deck. And when a bridge is posted, believe it. Every single warning sign on this entire list exists because at some point, somebody didn't.